tonight are on the broad road that leads to destruction. And tonight, I would say with Moses, I would say with Joshua, turn, repent, choose God, serve Him, live for Him. That is the message of God tonight to this great audience of people at Yankee Stadium.
I see revival coming to planet Earth, maybe as never before. It would be untold numbers, an untold, uncounted multitudes that will be saved. The dead will be raised. The arthritic will be healed. Cancer will be healed. No disease would be able to stand before God's people, and that it would be a worldwide situation.
There's a church that doesn't just know about God, they know God. They don't just believe in His power, they carry His power. God will shake the United States of America one last time, not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Adalis and I are here to announce our next big move, biggest move we've ever made for Revival Today. Behind me is a building that will look nothing like it looks right now when we finish. We're on just under 5 acres of property that we've just finished purchasing, which is going to give us the ability to have a state-of-the-art studio. And in that studio, something I've wanted to have for a long time, which is a live studio audience. It's going to be a 500-seat building when we finish with it that'll give us the ability to touch the world with our broadcasts. This facility is going to give me the ability to do what I've really missed, which is having you in the audience to minister to personally. Obviously, you can't beat the reach of digital media. We touch the whole world every day. But we have the ability now with this to lay hands on people, pray for people that are sick, a place where you can bring people that are drug addicted, demonized, and really give them the ministry that you can't get on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait. And then beyond that, we're going to announce the launch of Revival Today Church. We're going to hold Holy Ghost church services every Sunday morning. I'll be there most Sunday mornings. This isn't going to be like some little side project. We're going to give you and your family a place you can go that's a soul-winning church that values the presence of God, where you can get prayed for and ministered to, where there's not a critical race theory lecture or a mass and social distancing 10 minutes of no talking to anybody in the lobby. None of that. We're going to have a place where you're free and where you're free to experience the presence of God.
I'm incredibly excited because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, and the markets are already open. We're actually a minute behind schedule. All indices are positive except for the Russell. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's show. It's going to be a special show. Welcome Angela and Leah and Cheryl and Antoinette from Cape Town. Good morning, everyone, from the Revival Today studios here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today is going to be a special day. We have a guest on who actually got me looking into cryptocurrencies. His name is Doug Johnson, and he's here with us today, and he's going to be talking to us about crypto. So if you guys have any questions that I couldn't answer, he's your guy. He'll be able to answer most of those questions. And yeah, so let's go ahead and bring him on. Welcome, Doug. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Awesome. Doing good. Welcome to Check the Market. And today we're going to do an all crypto edition, maybe throw in a couple stocks. Who knows? It's always a surprise here at Check the Market. All right, let's get started. So the first article that I want to pull up is the one from Elizabeth Warren that you sent to me last night. Let's go ahead and pull that article up. Senator Warren calls out Bitcoin's energy consumption. Bitcoiners bite back. All right, let's see the article. OVR.ai is announcing a live. That's not the article.
I might not have had the article.
Oh, I see. Okay, so basically she's like upset about all the energy that Bitcoin's using. They say that to mine one Bitcoin is as much as it takes for an entire house, an entire family house to be powered for a month or a week or something like that. Like insane, something insane like that. Can you talk about that? Is that actually true?
Yeah. So that's the big attack that they're going to have on like all mineable blockchains.
Yeah.
You know, so because of the energy consumption, you know that the governments are going to be they're trying to go for this green energy deal and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to see them attack things like Bitcoin, and I don't believe it's for energy consumption. It might be part of it, but I don't think they really believe that. I think they can't control Bitcoin the way they want, and China's like heavily involved with Bitcoin. So like the U.S. government, all like NATO and all that kind of stuff is gonna basically shoot down Bitcoin.
Yeah.
For those reasons. And anything that takes up energy, they're going to fight hard against that. So that's why I don't really care to hold Bitcoin for the long term.
I see. Okay. So does Bitcoin really take that much energy to mine? What would you say are like better, would be like a better alternative? Because right now all the talk is about Bitcoin and how expensive it is to mine and how much energy it uses and how climate unfriendly it is and all that stuff. So what do you think would be like
anything that's staking and that's proof of work, okay? So you mine it, you find the block, it takes energy to do that. Staking is where you take cryptocurrency that you bought, like Chainlink, which is what I'll talk to you about later on. You put your coins in, and that provides the security for the network. And anytime someone transacts, you get a portion of the transaction fee based on how much currency you have in there. So it's kind of like dividends. That takes a lot less energy. XRP specifically and XLM use distributed ledger technology. So the transactions, I mean, I remember an article in 2018, I think. XRP moved $750 million in 3 seconds, and it cost less than a cent to move it.
Wow.
So when you're talking, I mean, Bitcoin's still relatively cheap in comparison to the existing system. You know, if you want to like move money across country, well, I think you guys touched on it before. It costs a ton of money using the SWIFT payment system.
Yeah.
And Swift has tried to like upgrade it. They can't compete really, even against Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's slow and cumbersome compared to like these other cryptocurrencies that you have out there.
So do you think this is just a government attack against Bitcoin? Because if you think about it, how many people does it take to move money across borders, even with the SWIFT system? You know, it takes energy to do all of that. It takes it takes way more manpower than it would just, you know, with cryptocurrency.
Right. It, like any digital currency, it's basically a banking system streamlined. You know, it doesn't take the manpower to okay the transaction. It does that all through an automatic algorithm that you can see publicly. Those transactions. So it's open source. So you don't, you know, there's no questioning whether that transaction's legit or not, because any bad transaction is going to get forced out by the nodes that anybody can run. And it just won't get recognized.
I see. And then the other question I had for you is, do you think because of the amount of energy it takes, the amount of time it takes, that Bitcoin is it like feasible for it to become a global currency that's used by more than just a couple of nations to do transactions for daily things? You know, you go in grocery shopping, whatever.
Okay, the grocery shopping is definitely out of the question.
Okay.
To buy a coffee, no. I mean, Starbucks tried to do that. They accepted Bitcoin for a time when it was back in 2017. That was like the Elon Musk in accepting Bitcoin, right? Except his is a little bit more feasible because it's a larger transaction. But if you were to send $5 to Starbucks, it would indefinitely not go through at this point, because the blockchain, the miners have 6 transactions that they can put in a block once they find it. So are they going to put the $5 transaction in?
Yeah.
Or are they going to put the $100,000 transaction in when they get a certain percentage of that transaction?
Yeah.
So they have to be choosy, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bitcoin Cash has sped it up a little bit, but it's still 2 minutes, and I think it's like 16 transactions. And with XRP, XLM, they're doing like 1,400 transactions every 3 seconds. So as far as a global asset that like a whole world could use, you need something more than 6 transactions every 10 minutes. You know, I think Visa does like 6,500 transactions or something like that. It might be 65,000 transactions every 3 seconds.
Wow. Yeah. That would take some serious power for Bitcoin to be able to do that.
Serious power. And then you have to figure out how to get those smaller transactions across the blockchain, where you have a bunch of greedy miners trying to get the highest transaction possible.
But even with that just shows that, you know, Elizabeth Warren might not know exactly 100% what she's talking about, because I want to know how much energy do 65,000 Visa transactions every 3 seconds take?
Yeah, no kidding. And manpower.
Yes.
You know, but Visa acquired Earthport, and Earthport uses ODL or on-demand liquidity that's made by XRP and Ripple.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, they acquired that 2019.
So a lot of those card companies are going to start using like the infrastructure of cryptocurrencies to do transactions.
Yeah, you're not going to notice a difference on our end, because what you perceive as an instant transaction by Visa, they're actually taking the risk for 3 days while it settles.
Yeah.
So even like Cash App, you know, you see it as an instantaneous transaction, but what they're doing is taking the risk, assuming that your money's going to clear from your bank account. And then once they can do that, they can physically move it over to the person that you sent it to. And they're taking the risk. So they're taking the double risk.
Yeah.
On hopefully your transaction gets cleared. And then hopefully, you know, when that transaction gets cleared, they're already taking the risk on the other side when they take it out of the account.
Yeah.
On the other side.
I see. Let's see the next article. Bank of France, Swiss National Bank begin cross-border CBDC, central bank digital currency experiment. The banks will experiment with cross-border settlements of 2 wholesale CBDCs and a French digital financial instrument on a distributed ledger technology platform. See the article?
Might not have that.
The Bank of France and the Swiss National Bank are starting a joint cross-border central bank digital currency experiment dubbed Project Euro. It'll focus on bank-to-bank wholesale lending market, not public transactions. In an announcement Thursday, the Swiss National Bank said it'll work with the Bank for International Settlements, Innovation Hub, and a private sector consortium led by Accenture to experiment with wholesale CBDCs for cross-border settlement. The private sector consortium of companies include the Swiss investment bank Credit Suisse, Natixis, R3, Six Digital Exchange, and UBS. The Swiss National Bank said it had already been investigating tokenized assets with wholesale CBDC. Project Euro will experiment with cross-border settlements of 2 wholesale CBDCs and a French digital financial instrument on a distributed ledger technology platform. The transaction will involve the exchange of financial instrument against a Euro wholesale CBDC through a delivery rather than payment settlement mechanism and the exchange of a Euro wholesale. The transactions will be settled between banks domiciled in France and in Switzerland. Why is this important?
Well, this is where, Accenture and R3 are both Ripple partners.
Yeah.
So this just kind of further goes into the fact that we're moving into like a global bridge asset between CBDCs. Like they could technically probably trade one for the other, right?
Yeah.
But a company that, a central bank that can print as much money as they want, which they all want to do, to control inflation and all that kind of stuff. The other country is not going to want their currency. At least they can control their own currency and they know what they're going to do with their currency.
Yeah.
They don't know what America's going to do with the dollar. Russia doesn't know what China's going to do with the yuan.
Yeah.
So it's like stay in their own currency. It also keeps them more honest.
Yeah.
They can't offload their debt and inflation on other countries,
Yeah.
So it just kind of further proves that where we're at in the stage. They're starting to test it now. They've probably been testing it for a couple of years now.
So you think, how soon do you think we're going to see those digital currencies? I mean, they already have them in China, but in the Western world.
Yeah. I think it could happen very quickly. Last year, the U.S., the Fed proposed, and I believe it got passed, for a digital dollar. I think they were going to try to use that for the rollout of the when they were passing out all the money to everybody.
Yeah, the stimulus.
So it could happen very quickly, but I would estimate like 3 or 4 years, maybe longer.
Yeah, and they're going to be using the infrastructure that's already in place. So a lot of those companies that already have the infrastructure in place. What are some of those companies that people can invest in now that you know of that have that infrastructure that these central banks are going to be building on?
Bank of America is an early adopter and supporter of Ripple.
Okay.
Visa acquired Earthport. Trying to think of the U.S. government is closely tied. I don't know if you can invest in them. I don't know if you want to. Maybe
buy some treasuries.
You can give them more taxes. That's the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, there's other ones using like Chainlink and stuff like that. I just don't know to what extent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah. So those are the ones. Visa would be a good one because I think they're far ahead of the game, and then Bank of America as a backup.
I see.
I think they're going to beat other banks out.
Bank of America?
Yeah.
Because they were an early adopter more so than the other banks.
Yeah. they have patents and stuff using XRP. So they're going to start implementing it right away if it's successful, which I think it will be.
Bank of America. I believe it's BAC, the ticker.
Yes.
Yep, BAC, Bank of America. All right, next article. Bank for International Settlements teams with Swiss National Bank and Bank of France, Accenture, and others in cross-border central bank digital currency experiment. All right, we just went over this. Let's see the next one. Bitcoin mining firm. I saw this morning. Bitcoin mining firm Hut 8 approved to list on the NASDAQ. Do you know anything about Hut 8?
No, never heard of it.
All right, let's read the article. Major North American Bitcoin mining firm Hut 8 Mining has been approved for listing on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol HUT, H-U-T. So that is one that we'll look into here on Check the Market. The company is also listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Hut 8 Mining Corporation announced Thursday that its common shares have been approved to list on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol HUT, H-U-T. NASDAQ's website explains that the global select market has the highest initial listing standards of any exchange. Okay. Hut 8 Mining describes itself as one of North America's oldest and largest innovation-focused Bitcoin miners. It is incorporated under the Government and Business Corporation Act of British Columbia. So it's in Canada.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it looked like they were trying to do like a solar power.
Yeah.
So that would cut down on
all those carbon emissions that everybody keeps talking about. All right, next. All right, let's talk about El Salvador. IMF voices concern over El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender. Let's see the article. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has warned a number of macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues surrounding El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender. Crypto assets can pose significant risks, and effective regulatory measures are very important when dealing with them. The IMF sees issue with Bitcoin being legal tender in El Salvador. The International Monetary Fund raised a number of economic and legal concerns with equal footing with the U.S. dollar. With the recent approval of the Bitcoin law proposed by President Nayib Bukele, El Salvador has become the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Next slide. The spokesperson added that the IMF will meet with President Bukele later on Thursday to discuss the recently passed Bitcoin law. El Salvador has been in discussions with the IMF seeking a near $1 billion loan. Following the adoption of the bill to make Bitcoin legal tender, El Salvador announced that it will be mining Bitcoin using energy from volcanoes. I've just instructed the president of Lageo, our state-owned geothermal electric company, to put up a plan to offer facilities for Bitcoin mining with very cheap, 100% clean, 100% renewable, zero emissions energy from our volcanoes. This is going to evolve fast. What do you think, first of all, what do you think about the whole El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender?
I can't wait to see like how they implement it. I just knowing that Bitcoin at 20,000. I moved $800 when it was at $12,000 Bitcoin, or 13,000 or something like that, and it took 4 hours to get to the destination. I'm like, $800 is not a lot of money, but it's also not $10.
Yeah.
So, and then that 100% clean and 100% renewable, I'll be interested in seeing how they accomplish that. Because why don't we all do that? So that seems a little far-fetched to me too.
Yeah. I do actually I have acquired a picture of El Salvador in a couple of years down the road, what it's going to look like. Let's put that up on the screen, if you have it. There we go. El Salvador, year 2030.
That seems like a pretty realistic model.
So El Salvador, the crypto banking capital of the entire world. That's what it's going to look like in 2030. If I was you guys, I would immediately buy real estate as much as I can in El Salvador.
I'm looking for some real estate. That seems like a prime spot.
All right. Let's see the next article. Buffett and Gates. This doesn't have anything to do with crypto, but it might. Who knows? Buffett and Gates are building a nuclear plant in coal country. Did you see this, Doug?
No, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, let's see the article. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have chosen a top U.S. coal-producing state as the location of a new kind of nuclear reactor, using natrium as its power source. The natrium power plant, with an anticipated cost of $1 billion, will repurpose a coal plant for its operations in Wyoming, with the exact location to be announced by the end of 2021. The partners hope this will help the U.S. on its way to a carbon-zero future. The development consists of a 345 megawatt sodium-cooled fast reactor with molten salt-based energy storage that could boost the system's power output to 500 megawatts during peak power demand. This would provide enough energy to power as many as 400,000 homes. So I thought this was very interesting. What do you think? Do you think, because I saw an article that Warren Buffett or Berkshire Hathaway just invested a bunch of money in a Brazilian bank that has does a lot of work with cryptos. So yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
Well, what I found interesting, I don't know if it has any kind of connection at all, but Wyoming, I think the governor, I can't remember her name, Waffler or something.
I'm not sure.
She just created like a crypto tax to make it like super friendly to encourage cryptocurrency companies to move to Wyoming. It'll be like the cryptocurrency version of Silicon Valley.
I see.
So I've actually been looking for property out there because it's so cheap in like Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Just to kind of do something there. So I don't know if that has any. I mean, if you connect the dots.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's like when people mined for gold, the people that provided the tools are the ones that got even more wealthy. And these guys, they're not stupid. They're very smart. So I'm thinking if they put something up there in Wyoming, and as you said, I didn't even know that was supposedly going to be the crypto capital of America. It makes sense.
Yeah. I already know one CEO that moved out there from the Kraken Financial.
Mm-hmm.
There's like an exchange called Kraken.
Yeah.
And they started the first crypto bank, and he moved out there, and that's where they're going to be heading it up in Cheyenne. So definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, for sure. There's the project will be overseen by Terra Power and Pacific Corp. I don't know if those founded by Gates and Buffett respectively. So I'm sure that those are part of Berkshire Hathaway. It's in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pacific Corp or Terra Power, whichever one is owned by Gates, I don't know if that's going to be public on anywhere. But that's going to be a good thing to keep an eye on for sure, to see how to develop, or is there going to be more development in that region along those lines, because then we'll be able to really connect the dots, and this is what they're trying to make the crypto capital of America for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping a close eye on that because I want to see if I can get my feet wet.
Yeah. All right, let's see the next article. Chewy swings to surprise profit, but warns of labor shortages. Chewy was on the list this week at some point, so I'm not sure what they're trading at right now. Let's take a quick look here.
Did you get anything from that? Did you invest in?
I was waiting until after earnings because depending on what their guidance was moving forward, I wanted to see if I could get in at a better price point than where it was.
Yeah. Because I almost bought some the other day.
But they are expecting growth moving forward, sales growth. It's just the labor and supply shortages that are like the negatives or the risks.
Which it seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, that's everywhere. All right, let's see the next article. Texas state regulator greenlights banks to custody crypto. A June 10th notice from the Texas Department of Banking told state charter banks they're okay to work with crypto companies. I thought this was interesting that Texas did that, because from the majority of states you just hear, or states, or even the federal government, it's all against crypto. So I think that's interesting that the regulator did.
Definitely warming up to it.
Yeah. I think they realize that it is inevitable and that they're behind. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? That they're like behind the times and now they're trying to play catch up with their CBDCs?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. Like, I think America is behind at this point. And I think they got to do something fast, because that's definitely the way that the world is going.
Yeah.
I
mean, every day you see articles of companies that are hooking up with blockchain companies to, do something with their supply chains or whatever it is. So that is definitely, the blockchain is definitely the future.
Yeah. And I'll just note here, like, this happened in 2017 when I was involved in it. And you saw people like doing all these things, like I said, Starbucks before, they were very involved in Bitcoin. So you hear all this good news about cryptocurrency. And then when this market cycle is over, you're going to start to see very bad articles, like, and people will be disinterested. So there's a reason why, like, this is part of the market cycle. You start seeing articles, then a year from now or 2 years, whenever the market drops off, you'll start seeing articles like Bitcoin's going to zero.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so that's the time you need to start buying, like, heavily into this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had an article yesterday that all like the Bitcoin whales, the ones that have over 1,000 in their 1,000 Bitcoin in their wallet, they kept buying. They're still buying the entire time. When it dipped, at 32, 33, they were buying up.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're buying right now too.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's over yet. I think Bitcoin looks a little scary to me, but it doesn't. I don't think it's over.
Where do you think the bottom's going to be? Do you think it's going to drop some more? Do you think there's too much downward pressure on Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I was looking. I think Bitcoin did find a bottom, but it is possible it goes lower. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I found a bottom around 30K.
Yeah.
And I believe we're going to consolidate, in this range, and it could be months or it could be weeks. I'm betting more on months. I think it's going to be a very boring time in cryptocurrency for the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll see another rise up. I've always had the opinion that Bitcoin's going to 100,000 this bull run, but we'll see.
Do you think it could still go there?
Yeah. This cycle.
All right. Next article. El Salvador brings new global puzzle. What is Bitcoin and how to tax it? So I was thinking about this a little bit, Doug, and if El Salvador, even Miami, they're looking at paying their employees in Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever cryptocurrency, how do they tax that? Would you pay payroll taxes on that? Or would you just pay capital gains taxes on that? And then if you get it and you keep it in your savings account, and it goes up in value and you sell it, then are you taxed on it again? What do you think? What do you think about that? Like, because this is something the government's going to have to start looking into, because if there's currencies that appreciate in value, they're not considered a currency as of yet. Most people consider them like an asset, like an appreciative asset, like a stock. What do you think about this?
I agree. I think it's going to be incredibly hard to tax it accurately. They're going to lose, it depends on how much they care about, getting every taxable dollar out of Bitcoin, because if it's so volatile.
Yeah.
there's a reason why they like the dollar not moving. You know, it moves by the thousandth of a cent in value on the Forex, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see it as you could use it as a store of value like gold.
Yeah.
Like a government could hold it to keep their value in their country, like they would with gold. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. I don't think they've done their research.
It is for sure. We were talking yesterday about China and how they own 80% of the world's hashing power, mining power. And you said something really interesting to me, and I thought you share that with the audience, why China was heavily invested and now they're cracking down.
Yeah,
you see, it's like historical because it's happened before.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. Like the first time I went through in 2017, my account went crazy, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing. I'm a genius. I'm making this money. I'm going to be a millionaire in a couple of months." And you see China come out with some news about how they're cracking down on it. They arrested miners. They're making it illegal. They're not letting them flee the country. All this scary stuff, and you see the price tank 60%. And I thought it was it for. I remember my friends getting upset online about how China's crap and they're just manipulating it. So then you see it this year. You fast forward, and you see it this year. And you're just like, they must have sold at like 50 or 60K or something like that.
Yeah.
Just tanking the price. That's why I don't think it's over, partly because it feels like the last time they did that, when like Bitcoin was at 12,000 or whatever it was, 10,000, it dropped down to like 6 or 5,500 in a couple of weeks. People were upset. And then it went on to 20,000, and I was in the euphoric stage of the market and thought it was never going to come down. And I lost a lot of money. Well, I didn't lose it because I took it out, but I took a lot of ridicule. But China has a lot of the hashing power. I think you said 80%. I think that's probably right. It's probably even more now. It was around 60% for a while.
Yeah.
And if they truly wanted to like make Bitcoin illegal, they'd shut down all the miners in their country, just completely shut it down. And then that would halt all the transactions. So if you try to move money, it would just say pending. And then on top of that, because the difficulty would be much lower, the algorithm would keep trying to lower it, and that would halt transactions and lag it, while all the other miners in the rest of the country were playing catch up because they don't have the computing power to find those more difficult transactions in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you would look at probably like months of halts just on that one day if they closed down for one day. So the fact that that's not happening and they're just making it illegal and putting out some news articles.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise the flag.
So it's not over. China isn't cracking down on they're cracking down on crypto, but it's all just for show, because even the article that we saw yesterday, they just arrested some people that are making the transactions. They haven't shut down any mining facilities. They haven't shut down any miners. So because they're probably involved in it, honestly. Because the party there is involved in everything. So they might shut down some illegal mining, but the majority of it is going to stay up. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they want to keep it alive because they can like offset their debt, all their printing, all that kind of stuff. They can utilize Bitcoin much the same way as America uses the dollar.
Yeah.
They can basically just like print money, buy crypto, and gain value that way and control it because they have the hashing power.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that was very interesting when you brought that up last night, and I'm going to look into that some more. Do you have for us the low, medium, and high crypto?
I did.
All right.
I will say this. Most of the risk levels is based on the age of the cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Because that kind of shows stability and like how serious they are. The high risk one I would say is HBAR. I tried to choose ones that were like good investments overall based on their like utility.
Okay.
Because I don't want to just like throw a DOGE at you, even though DOGE skyrocketed. it would have been a good one to choose, but I would still never choose it, you know?
Yeah.
HBAR, it ICO'd in 2018. It's got a 50 billion max supply of the currency. And it was built to allow individuals to build on top of it a decentralized applications. So, you know, if you wanted to create a Twitter that was decentralized and no one could tell you what to do or how to do it on that app, not even the owners of it. I think that's the way the internet's going, where everything's decentralized and it can't be controlled, because that's what people want.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good one. It also has smart contracts built in, much like Ethereum.
Okay.
Staking is going to be one of the things that they use to manage the network. And basically what it is a big pool of cryptocurrency. And if you were to transact, you would send four with someone else. You would send like 4 HBAR in there, and then the other person that you're transacting with would take 4 out. But nobody would know who those people are, except for the people sending and going, you know? So it's completely anonymous. And I see that as being a very good cryptocurrency.
Okay.
To take, but it's a little higher risk only because of the age, and it doesn't have the, you know, and then the medium risk would be Chainlink. Another good one. 2017, it came into existence, and that one allows blockchains, and this kind of almost goes beyond my understanding a little bit, but as far as I understand it, it allows blockchains to securely interact with external data feeds. Yeah. So it kind of mixes the old world technology and information on the internet and puts it onto the blockchain so they can interact together. So I can see how that could be useful for businesses.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. Again, data feeds, events, and payment methods. So it'll be interesting to see if that's utilized and how that's utilized. It's got some pretty smart people behind it. Again, staking and smart contracts. And then for the low risk, which is the one that I know the most about, is XRP. It was made in 2012. It uses distributed ledger technology. It's used for cross-border payments and settlements. 1,400 transactions per 3 seconds. Ripple, the company, works with many banks, including central banks like the Bank of England, and a lot of private smaller banks. So that one seems like the lowest risk because they're already being utilized in the real world for the purpose that they want to be used for. And I think it's positioned very well for long-term success. So there they are.
Yeah, XRP. And you're the one who actually got me interested in it last year, XRP.
Yeah. I in Vegas.
Yes.
And you looked at me like I had 3 heads. But I don't blame you, you know,
so high risk HBAR, medium risk Chainlink, and XRP low risk. Now, I just want to say that all cryptocurrencies are risky just because we see the volatility in them. You know, most of them dropped 60% in May in value. So It is risky, but you know, it's a good investment on the way up if you sell at the right point.
Yeah, well,
what do you think about
what kind of investor you are too?
Yeah.
No, I've changed my thought process from 2017. I said what everybody typically says when they get in at this point. You know, I'm gonna just hold for 5 to 10 years, and I thought it would steadily just keep going up and up and up, and it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sell. I'm still holding some. I'm not gonna sell all of it, but I'm gonna sell about 60% of it.
Yeah.
By the cycle, so I can reinvest. And you know, with no volatility, there's not much room for money making.
Yeah.
You know? So get used to big swings, and don't be afraid to take profits.
Yeah. Now you follow XRP very closely. So do you think we've hit the bottom on it?
Yes, I do. Let me just look here because I had it up. Yeah, as of right now, yeah, it looks like a bottom. A lot of the cryptocurrencies are following in line with each other. It looks like it bottomed, but I still think we're going to range in this area. I think we might see a spike up to 150 and then come back down.
Yeah.
So I might risk some and sell. At that point, I don't know yet. I'm just going to watch it. So next 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months, might be pretty boring, and then we're going to see some excitement again.
Awesome.
But basically range in this area.
All right, well, now would be a good time to get into XRP. And
yeah.
Chainlink is Link, $Link.
Yep. And then $HBAR for the their hash graph.
All right. Do we have any questions for Doug? Do you have any questions that you'd like? Somebody says, explain Link.
I don't really know much more besides what I explained, just other than the fact that you'll be able to stake it. I think you can stake it right now. So you basically buy cryptocurrency and then put it into a pool where you can gain dividends, and it's like every 24 hours you get these dividends. So I think it's a good one. I don't own any, or I might own like $20 worth, but yeah. That's pretty much all I really know about it. I think it's got a good future though.
Somebody else asked, what do you think about staking stablecoins with savings instead of traditional savings accounts?
Definitely. I mean, a savings account is going to get you maybe 1% or a little bit over that. Staking, I know on one of the stable coins, it's like 5.2%. So, I mean, simple math.
Somebody's harassing you online.
Nice. I always get harassed.
Doug,
I agree with
Doug,
that.
why does your office look like an Al-Qaeda detention facility?
I like it.
Nothing. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I feel at home. It's probably because I spent time in Iraq and Afghanistan.
XLM Stellar. Is that a good one?
Yeah. I own some. I don't think it's as well positioned as XRP. Like if I had to choose between one or the other, I would choose XRP all day long, just because of who they're working with. But XLM's a great one. The owner or the creator of XLM created XRP, was one of the original creators. So
it has all basically the same infrastructure.
Yeah, and I think they're just approaching how they do. They're just approaching things a little bit differently.
What about, and we get this question a lot, and I don't know a lot about this. I thought Shiba and Dogecoin were the same thing, but apparently it's two different things. So yeah. Shiba, what about Shiba?
If you really want to put high risk on, you could go for Shiba because it's a meme coin. So could you make a lot of money on it? Yes. Does it have utility? Not really. Can can it function? I have no idea. Like, you know, if it's like Doge and it's mineable, anything that's mineable can be attacked by a 51% attack. And that's my concern with that kind of stuff. Hard now.
Let's see what else. What about XDC and the R3 Corda? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, R3 is they use, or they're set up. They're one of Ripple's partners. Now I don't know XDC, but I've heard good things.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, here we go. SafeMoon. What do you think of SafeMoon? Stephanie's already angry in the back. If you say anything negative.
You have like a meme that you could post for BitConnect. You could probably find something on Twitter, but that's what I feel about it. I think people are going to get screwed on that.
Yeah. So you think it was a mistake for Dave Portnoy to get behind it?
Yeah.
And how much do you think they paid him?
Huh?
How much do you think they paid him?
I hope he didn't take money from them. If he did, he should have known better. He's got way more on the line. You know, I hope he just invested in it and he was a retard.
All right, let's see. What else? What about ETC and ETH? Ethereum and Ethereum Cash?
Classic.
Classic, that's right.
Yeah, so Ethereum, I would say yes. I would buy that. I don't own any, but it's going to be there for the next bull run, and I think it's got plenty of room for the upside on this one.
Do you think
Ethereum
more
Classic,
room?
I would say no, just because of the history. I like to invest in cryptocurrencies that people are working on.
Yeah.
And during the bear cycle, they quit because they couldn't keep the lights on. You know, all the developers left. They tried to create a fund where people could send their, Ethereum Classic in, and they couldn't get enough funds, so they just said, hey, we're not going to work on it anymore. But, I mean, look at Doge. So people like to speculate, and it's a speculative market. If you want to invest in it, I don't like choosing cryptocurrencies based on the price going up. I like to choose on what they are trying to build.
Yeah. Let's put that other meme up about the percentage returns. If you have it. I saw this morning. When your friend from the stock market joins crypto and celebrate a 3% gain. We don't do that here.
Man.
All right. What about Dogecoin?
I feel, Doge is a meme coin. Guy created it as a joke. Sold all of his at 10K. He's like, this is cool. I have 10K now. I can buy a Honda Civic, a used Honda Civic. So I don't take it serious at all.
All right. And Magala says, Doug, can you reimburse me for my lost SafeMoon?
Yes. No.
All right. Your top 5 altcoins for this cycle.
Oh man, that's tough. I think XRP. Wait, in percentages, like what the biggest moves I think are going to make?
Yeah, I would say what's like your top 5 that you would get into?
I would say XRP. I think Digibyte is going to go good. But there's like Doge has already done like I think it's already done like 70-something,000%. So that's probably going to be the top winner.
Yeah.
I can't imagine something doing as good as that. DOT is another good one. Link and HBAR. Is that 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What about, and we've got this question a couple times, for international, what would be like your number one pick for like a crypto exchange?
Okay. From USD into cryptocurrency, I like Uphold more than Coinbase, but they're both good. They're both like as reliable as it's gonna get. You could use Binance US, not as liquid, but Binance, the Chinese version, it's one of the biggest exchanges in the world. And Binance US is run by someone from Ripple originally. So she seems like a good person, so that's not just going to take off. And then I have like 6 exchanges that I use, buy different cryptocurrencies because I like to speculate. Yeah. But those are the good ones.
Okay. All right. And where can they follow you?
On the internet.
On the internet.
Yeah, Instagram. I don't know. Just find me.
Okay.
I don't know what the names are.
Doug Johnson on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can just follow every single one you see.
Yeah, just follow them all. And the one that posts stuff about Revival Today a lot is probably me.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Doug, for coming on. Yeah. I really appreciate it. And your insight, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. And we'll do another Crypto Friday at some point. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right.
See you,
Doug. Bye. All right. Well, give Doug some emoji hand claps in the comments. Thank you so much for coming on. And we've got some announcements. Evangelist Jonathan is currently preaching in St. Louis. They start tonight. Can we put the graphic up? At Hope Church in Hazelwood, Missouri, Friday through Saturday, 7 p.m., and then Sunday at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on St. Louis Mills Boulevard in Hazelwood, Missouri. So if you are anywhere in that area, you should make it out to those meetings. All right. And we have after that, we'll be at Elevate Church in Lincoln, Nebraska, 18th through the 20th of June. And that's also Friday through Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 9:30 and 6 p.m. Elevate Church in Lincoln, Nebraska. All right. And we have a Check the Market mug for you all for a donation of any size. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to donate to Revival Today. We do a lot of things. We feed 1,200 kids every single day, building a church. And for your donation, we'll send you this Check the Market mug so you can show all your friends that you check the market every single day. All right. And you can give at revivaltoday.com. Donate, #donate on Facebook. Or you can text RT to 50155. We also have Cash App and Venmo. Cash App $RT Give. And Venmo at RT Give. Or you can go to revivaltoday.com/PayPal. You can also give cryptocurrencies. We accept most cryptocurrencies. If you scan here, those are some of the ones that we offer. If there's some that you would like to donate that you can't do through that scan, you can give us a call at our office at 412-446-2332, and we'll be happy to accommodate that. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way by sending it by mail to Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. And then don't forget to claim your offer. Some of those platforms don't collect your information, so if you go to revivaltoday.com/offer, that way we can send you that Check the Market mug. All right. Also, don't forget to check out that we have an app that you can download. I believe we're on Apple TV as well, and Roku, Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, App Store, Google Play, and you can listen to us there 24/7. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.